After the surface has been processed with the PMB21 and cash dot pad, the surface must be completely dry. This can be achieved quickly by force drying with a blower or fan. Also, the removal of all dust is compulsory to achieve best results, and the area should be close to all traffic to prevent contamination. The Diatech dye can be applied by sprayer, brush, towel, or roller. Applying by sprayer is most convenient, but covering adjacent surfaces is required to prevent staining of unintended surfaces. In the case of rolling, it works for small areas and is easy to control the dye application. As a rule, no matter how it is applied, the dye should always be done in 2 coats to ensure homogeneous appearance and minimum overlap marks. In this video, there will be 2 coats done on only one half of the panel to illustrate variations that occur when only doing one application. 2 coats are the rule for a consistent color to be achieved. Also, special care should be taken to avoid dripping any dye on the concrete surface to avoid irregular patterns or marks. After the dye has been left to air dry, usually 15 minutes depending on airflow and temperature, the floor must be washed with water and scrub pads or brushes. This can be done by hand or with auto scrubber. Mopping is not acceptable. The surface must be agitated to remove all dye residue from the concrete surface. After the surface of the concrete is completely dried, densifier is applied by sprayer per manufacturer recommendations. Careful to spray the entire surface while also avoiding any puddling of the densifier. After spraying the densifier, it should be spread to ensure even coverage using a microfiber pad. This breaks the surface tension and ensures an even coating over a concrete surface. For densifier to properly harden the floor, it is required to keep the concrete surface wet with the densifier for a minimum of 15 minutes. After this period of time, it is fine to leave the densifier to dry. After the densifier is dried, the surface is treated using the PMB21 and cash dots to remove scratches and continue processing the concrete surface. You will notice that a large amount of dye has been removed from the surface of the concrete. This dye residue is that which did not penetrate the concrete surface. For this reason, it is important to control the slurry as it is being produced due to it staining adjacent polished concrete that may not be intended to be colored. As in any cash dot polishing operation, it is important that the machine is operated in a methodical way to ensure that all areas that are to be polished achieve the same final shine. As the surface is continually processed with the varying grits of cash dots, it is important to always work in a manner that is disciplined. Working in parallel rows is best so that the operator knows exactly what has been processed and that which still needs to be covered by the machine. Also, you will notice the water being introduced to the concrete surface. Anytime the cash dot system is used, water must always be used. There is no instance when the cash dots can be used dry. It is a wet system only. Concerning the amount of water to use, the water should be enough that the area under the cash dots is adequately wet. If too little water is applied, the machine may make dust. The floor will not have a consistent shine, and the pads can become damaged. After the wet polishing is done, the dry portion of the work can be done. This is achieved by using the Spin 1 pads on the PMB21. As in all steps, it is important to work in a disciplined manner to ensure the Spin 1 pads cover the entire area and the shine is consistent. Also to be taken into consideration is that some dust will be produced by this dry operation. All workers near this work must use breathing protection equipment, and any surfaces or equipment that can be damaged by dust must be covered or sealed from dust exposure. As the dry polishing progresses, the floor is becoming noticeably more shiny and reflective. This is thanks to the earlier cash dot steps being done thoroughly so that the less aggressive but still very effective Spin 1 pads can produce not only reflection but some clarity as well. The Spin 1 system is a very versatile system since not all 5 steps must be completed to achieve a nice shine. This is helpful for projects where the client's requirements are very dependent on a budget. The Spin 1 system can be varied to meet any realistic polishing budget. When making a custom Spin 1 method statement, it is never acceptable to specify a process where higher grit Spin 1 pads are followed by lower grit Spin 1 pads. This would be a redundant process that is going to make less shine. The Spin 1 pads are numbered for easy identification. number 1 being the lowest grit through number 5 being the highest grit. In any case of writing a method statement, STI has technical brochures to assist in making a proper method statement, or you can always feel free to contact STI or its authorized dealers. The floor is now becoming very shiny. Each step that is completed brings about more shine and more beauty. Also, the color of the dye is becoming more homogeneous and intense. The reflection has become more brilliant, which helps to reflect light and objects in the floor. This is the perfect choice for a shopping center, supermarket, and even a school. The floor is very durable and attractive and carries a standard 10-year warranty. This system video is brought to you by STI. We are the company that knows the polishing industry, and our STI products are the only products you should buy and use for your concrete polishing projects. Achieving this result is something we do every day and everywhere. Thank you for watching.